If death ever made you uncomfortable, if thinking about someone you lost still tightens your chest, if you secretly wonder whether they can still feel your love, then pause, breathe, and listen. The scriptures do not speak of death to frighten us. They speak of death to remove all fear. According to the Garuda Purana, nothing truly ends at death. What ends is only the physical body. What continues is awareness itself, the soul carrying its memories, its tendencies, its emotional weight. When a person leaves the body, they do not suddenly become a stranger to themselves. They remain who they were, only without flesh. This is very important to understand. The soul does not instantly become free, nor does it get trapped. It enters a subtle phase of transition where it slowly realizes, I am no longer this body. And during this phase, the soul is deeply sensitive. Sensitive to what? Sensitive to thoughts, to emotions, even to the energetic pull of its loved ones. That is why the Garuda Purana and other scriptures place so much importance on what happens after death, not as a mere ritual, but as a relationship. When we cry in panic, begging the soul to return, the soul feels that pull. When we grieve with guilt, the soul absorbs that heaviness. When we pray with surrender, the soul also feels the permission to move peacefully. That means how you feel impacts the soul. Prayers help not because God is far away, but because the soul is still very close. The scriptures explain that for some time after leaving the body, the soul remains connected to familiar emotional frequencies. Your voice, your thoughts, your remembrance, they are not meaningless. They are signals. When you pray calmly, when you are able to handle yourself, when you are able to stay connected to the divine power within you, you are saying to the soul, you are so loved, you are safe, you may go ahead with divine grace and protection. This reassurance matters more than words can express. Many people ask, if the soul has its own journey, why do our prayers really matter? Because the soul is not yet finished with emotional impressions. Just as a newborn needs gentle support to adjust to a new world, the soul too needs gentleness while transitioning. Your prayers do not change destiny, they change experience. They soften confusion of the soul. They reduce the fear the soul is going through. They bring clarity to the soul. The Garuda Purana repeatedly emphasizes that love expressed through prayer becomes subtle nourishment for the soul. That is why food offerings, mantras, pujas, remembrance, charity is done in the name of those who have passed away. And these are described not as mere blind customs, but as acts of energetic support for the soul. When you feed someone in their memory, when you help someone in their name, it is not the food or the things that reach them, it is the intention. When you light a lamp, it is not really the flame they see, but the steadiness and the feelings within your heart. When you chant a prayer, it is not the sound, it is the peace behind the sound that reaches them. And perhaps the most powerful help you can give a loved one who's passed away is this: let them go without fear and attachment. The Garuda Purana gently reminds us, attachment born of love uplifts, but attachment born of fear binds. If your love says, I miss you, but I trust your journey, the soul feels light. If your love, however, says, I cannot live without you, I may have hurt you so much, I need you right now, the soul feels pulled back. Your words, Your thoughts, your feelings affect the soul. They may either cause the soul more pain or allow the soul to experience freedom, which is why acceptance on the passing away of a loved one is sacred. Not forgetting, not suppressing grief, but trusting the continuity of the soul. It is your connection with God at this time that can help you deal with the passing away of a loved one. Another deep teaching of the Garuda Purana is this: the way we live shapes the way we live. A life lived in constant agitation, hatred, anger creates a very restless transition. However, a life lived with remembrance of the divine, connection with the divine, with compassion and kindness for other living beings, creates a gentle passing. This does not mean perfection. It does not mean we are not allowed to make mistakes. However, it does mean awareness. Living with more consciousness. Learning to pause and reflect. Learning to forgive. Learning to release bitterness while we are alive. It's not just our own journey. Even if we are aware of a loved one experiencing negative emotions, it is our duty and responsibility to help them heal as much as possible, guide them towards experiencing positivity by surrendering their feelings and believing in divine justice. Death does not suddenly transform us in any way, it reveals us. This is where the Garuda Purana gives one of its most compassionate messages for all those living. Prepare for death not by fear, but by lightness of living. Speak your truth, but speak gently. Resolve what can be resolved today. Don't wait for another day. Love without possession. Serve without expectation. Remember the divine, not as a concept, but as presence and power. When you live like this, death does not feel like the end. It feels like completion. And for those who have lost a near and dear one, know this with certainty. They have not vanished. They have not become unreachable. They have not stopped feeling your love. Your calm prayers still reach them. Your peace still supports them. Your inner healing still continues to help them. As you heal, you are not leaving them behind. They heal with you. You are helping both of you move forward if you continue working on your mind and energy. The scriptures do not ask us to deny grief. They ask us to transform it from pain into prayer, from attachment into blessing, from fear into trust that the divine is taking care of everything. Love does not end at death. It simply changes form. And life never truly ends. It continues more subtly, more gently, more eternally. This is why the Puran speaks as much to the living as it does about the departed. It teaches us to live lightly, love deeply, and when the moment of leaving arrives, for us or for those we love, it will feel less like a loss, more like a continuation. If today you are grieving, praying, remembering, or simply wondering where your loved one is, remember this: you are not alone, nor are they. God is eternally loving and guiding us all. I pray that God fills your life with so much love that you begin to celebrate the loved one who's no longer with you and make them happy by choosing to stay happy yourself. Namaste.
If you enjoyed this video, then do share it with others, subscribe to this channel, and stay connected with all the tools and techniques I'm sharing.